If you think success is about setting the perfect goal, I have bad news for you. Most people quit before the habit even forms. One study found that it takes about 66 days on average for a new behavior to become automatic. So if you're doing the 9-day motivational reel, guess what? You're just building a highlight reel.
Stop it. Get some help.
You're not doing nothing. Fair use.
The 2-minute rule can be applied to pretty much any habit you're trying to build. And it's very simple. It just says, take whatever habit you're trying to create and you scale it down to something that takes 2 minutes or less to do, right? So read 30 books a year becomes read one page, or do yoga 4 days a week becomes take out my yoga mat. Or in my case, write a newsletter every week becomes write one sentence.
Hey man, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm RJ here with KaiR, and this is where independent thinkers come to build financial durability for the decade ahead. And if you're serious about navigating the economics of 2030, hit subscribe, join the newsletter, because the next decade won't wait for anybody.
Yes. Looks like success is a big moment. It's a big thing, but usually small systems create those situations. Today's headline is success belongs to the structured and not the inspired. Let's take a look. Psychologists call it habit forming, context dependent repetition. Your brain basically automates what you repeat in the same cue environment. The research on habit formation suggests that people underestimate the timeline and overestimate the motivation aspect of it. Habit strength builds through repetition, and the automatic part can take longer than you think. So it's not willpower versus losers, it's systems versus chaos. And today we're gonna give you 7 factors that make success statistically more likely and not motivationally dependent. Fair use.
The distance between your dreams and your reality right now is discipline. Discipline is doing the things you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
It's all motivation. They don't tell you how to do it. They don't tell you how to do it. They don't give you any way, tools to get it done.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
It's just pure emotion. And like we said earlier as well, emotions don't do the job.
So it's the same advice you get. I mean, wake up at 5, grind, no excuses. And don't get me wrong, I love motivational clips because they're motivational.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But just discipline is like just it's like telling someone just grow wings.
Facts.
And it's very important to remember that discipline is real and it's very important, and oftentimes it gets underestimated. But a cheat code is designing your environment so discipline isn't carrying the whole thing. In other words, you don't want to rely only on your discipline to make things happen, because it's going to make your life way harder. Instead, eliminate distractions and create systems that make you succeed. KaiR.
So we're going to be serious about the Lord's business.
Hey man, people love flexing. I do it all with willpower. And that's cute until life punches you in the face. Your environment will basically outvote your mindset in that situation every time. And I love Ashton Hall, but again, motivation.
I was just saying, he's showing you an example of how he has to be motivated. He has to have systems because he is in shape. So at least he has that system, you know?
Yes, that's.
I don't know.
That's,
He also time travels. If you look at this, at the timestamps of the video.
the timestamp make no sense. That was the
Yeah.
first video. Let's go back to the aspect of tough love, right? Analysis. Most people don't fail from a lack of talent, right? Most people fail because their inconsistent behaviors plus inconsistent feedback. And the biggest excuse is always, I'll do it when I feel ready. Procrastination. You're just moving it along, but will you ever be ready? Most people never feel ready. Procrastination. Yeah, I screwed up on that side. But yeah, you will feel busy and distracted, slightly hungry, and then you scroll up. Hey, it's the doom scrolling. That's a big problem these days. So in today's episode, we will focus on how to stop trusting your feelings as a project manager and start implementing ways to get it done.
And we can do that by means of a simple math of success. So habits take approximately 66 days, so that's just over 2 months on average to feel automatic. You know, quitting at day 14 is like leaving the gym while still in the parking lot. You're not there yet. Here's the real cost. You start 10 times a year. You quit before the compounding phase. So you pay the pain of starting without collecting the reward of momentum. You do that multiple times a year, and that's emotional debt. You keep restarting every single time, restarting. So you never get the identity shift. It's not a discipline shift, it's not a habit shift, it's an identity shift. And you start believing the lie, I'm not that kind of person. No, you are that kind of person, but you just don't have that kind of system to make that kind of person blossom. I like that part. And success doesn't live alone. These factors stack. Bad sleep makes impulse control worse. Bad impulse control makes you chase quick dopamine. Quick dopamine kills deep work. No deep work kills growth and long-term relationship. No skills kills confidence. And low confidence pushes you into more dopamine. That's not a vibe. That's a loop.
Hey man, I agree with what you said, but let's take a look at the consequences of that. Now imagine you're running that same loop until 2030. Of course, the world is faster, people learn faster, adapt fast, and self-correct without drama. And there you are without being able to do that. If you can't build habits, delay gratification, and run feedback loops, like Ashton Hall was running around, you're basically trying to win a Formula One race on foot, or even worse, on a bicycle.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Well, it's worse if you have problems with cycling. But yeah, let's anchor it on research, right? Habit formation and behavior change research emphasizes that repetition in stable context is how habits lock in. So your brain links cues, routine, and rewards. Delayed gratification research got famous with the marshmallow test. Again, newer evidence suggests it predicts outcomes somewhat, but at the end of the day, your environment and socioeconomic factors explain a meaningful chunk. And something that you said as well in a previous episode, RJ. Meaning you don't morally fail. You get out-designed by your surroundings. Exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. Basically, you need to stop calling it a lack of willpower and start calling it bad architectural design. Looking at the pressure points from that aspect, you have people using phones basically as slot machines, doom scrolling again. Everyone's attention is being auctioned off by the latest app, and convenience is everywhere. You don't have impulse control. You're running circles, in loops, infinite loops, doom scrolling. And at the end of the day, competition is global. So the advantage will go to people who will be able to create better systems and not have louder motivations. But maybe you have a framework, RJ. You're the framework guy. Do you have something today?
Well, all right. So but I can give like seven things that increase your chances of being successful. Framed as a practical playbook. First and foremost, long-term systems beat short-term goals. Goals are destinations, and you need to have your destinations. But the systems are the vehicle. If you only have goals, you get motivation spikes. If you have systems, you get compounding behavior. Habits formed through repetition and stable habits. 2, delayed gratifications or impulse control. Delayed gratification matters, but doesn't mean you have to be a robot. Research story here is impulse control relates to outcomes, but environment matters a lot too. So the action to take is to remove friction from good choices and add friction to bad ones. Delete apps, log out, move snacks, block sites, don't resist, reroute. And guys, for those of you who have phones, I mean, we're addicted to phones, right? Put your screen on black and white. Trust me, everything gets boring from that point on. That's after you remove all apps.
Even the
3,
IG honeys.
the IG honeys, I wouldn't know. 3, your environment is a silent author. Choice, architecture, and not just show how small design changes shape decisions without noticing. So the action to take here is to design 3 environments. A physical one, consisting of visible tools and hidden distractions. A digital one, consisting of, for example, notification of diet, friction for doom scrolling, for example, apps that block social media apps, and socially, fewer energy, vampires, more builders. And hey guys, sometimes that vampire sleeps next to you. Sometimes it's your best family. I'm all for love, KaiR, but there's a reason why Twilight was a big hit a couple of years ago. 4, skill stacking over talent. You don't need to be exceptional, just rare. The talent stack idea entails becoming the top 25% at multiple complementary skills, which in turn will make you unusually valuable. So choose 3 skills: 1 communication skill, 1 technical or production skill, and 1 leverage skills, which can mean sales, writing, negotiation, whatever the case may be. And of course, that's something you choose for maybe this year, but after 2-3 years where you've dominated one of these skills, you can switch it because you've already dominated. It's a long-term game, guys. 5, network quality is better and more important than network size. Your upside is capped by who takes your call. Social capital matters, especially in hybrid and remote worlds where visibility and trust drive opportunities. So build a small council consisting of, for example, 5 people. Honest, competent, connected, and most importantly, they shouldn't do clown sidekicks. So no clowns in the circle. And every year, guys, consider maybe changing the composition of your council because it can be that you've outgrown certain people. KaiR?
Keep it to 11. Don't make it 12.
Keep it to 11. Don't make it 12. Don't understand that. But okay.
Ask Jesus.
Oh, like that. Well, let's not go there. 6, asymmetric risk taking. The smartest risks are the ones where you can survive losing and massively benefit if you win. It's the Nassim Taleb style of thinking. If you haven't read the book, Black Swan and Anti-Fragile and other books, please do, especially in Anti-Fragile. That's the title of the book, right? Anti-Fragile?
Yeah, Anti-Fragile.
I have like all his books, I think. But you want the convexity, you want to limit the downside, and you want to have meaningful upside. Don't be brave, be asymmetric. And also, guys, another very valuable tip of Nassim Taleb: skin in the game. Don't take advice from people who stand nothing to lose if you lose. Because people be giving out advice without carrying none of the consequences if it goes wrong. So please remember that. So the action to take here: run small bets, side projects, public skill building, low cost experiments. keep downside contained. 7, and that's the last one for today. And of course, there are a lot more, but fast feedback loops and brutal self-correction is important. There's no room for ego, because if you have ego, if people are afraid to tell you the real, then you're only limiting yourself. Hope is not a strategy, guys. It's a feedback. Learning theory in organizations talks about double loop learning, not just fixing actions, but fixing the thinking that created the actions. So the action to take, I would say, for example, a weekly review, approximately 20 minutes, and ask yourself, what worked, what didn't, and what will I change this week? If you don't schedule feedback, life schedules it for you, usually with interest. And no, it's not interesting. So the framework is simple: systems, environment, skill stack, high trust network, asymmetry, and feedback. Do those, and success becomes more probable. So, KaiR, your final thoughts. If someone feels
my
behind
final
in
thoughts.
life-
This was a very good show, man. I've learned a lot. But I think at the end of the day, people need to stop trying to be different people overnight. You have to build a system that helps you with small steps and to become the person you want to be, to improve yourself. And at the end of the day, you cannot fail. Then you need to also redesign your environment, because at the end of the day, you're also very dependent on your environment, where you are, who you're hanging out with. Like you said, the 5 people or the 11 people you have around you. Don't have 12, because otherwise you might end up in the wrong position. There's always someone who's ready to plot on you. But at the end of the day, you got to redesign the environment to make that system a default for it to work. Success isn't a personality trait. It becomes a personality trait if you have the structure and you have the systems. But otherwise, it's just not a personality trait. It's just something you look at and admire. Don't look at it. Become it. Systems. Also, guys, delete that one app. You know which one. Yeah, that one. That's it.
Thanks, KaiR, and block that side too.
Like this.
That's the gateway. So if this episode hits home, that's where the change starts. Hey, we do appreciate your support. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out the next video, and we'll see you in the next one. Until next time.
Peace.